with Upper Deck. Now, it's time for Unwrapping, which means I throw up 2 cards and we talk. Now, we're promoting, of course, the matchup on our air. A couple of guys will be watching closely, Patrick Kane and Seth Jones, fellas.
Okay. Why don't you want to take Patrick?
I'll take Patrick, sure.
All right, go ahead, please.
Well, Patrick Kane is not going to be stopped, a guy that's competitive and best stick handler in the business and continues to fight. Joel Quenneville, who's the coach of the Panthers, I got a chance to talk to him about Patrick Kane and that group, and he says that group was the most competitive group. And one thing that goes under the radar sometimes is how competitive Patrick Kane is. You see all his skill and everything that he does, and he makes it look so easy, but he puts a time in not only at the rink but away from the rink to be as great as he does, and he hates losing no matter what the team is or what situation they're in. He's going to play his best hockey, and when you watch him play, he is dynamite every single night.
Seth Jones, what could I say about him, Tony? What do you need? You need a guy to shut down the other team's power play? Do you need someone to play your power play? Do you need a transition D? You need a guy that can be physical, fast, you name it, he can deliver it. Hasn't really been a great start for him this year. He's got 1 point in 8 games. Oh, by the way, did I mention that they're in first place in their division? And they haven't had who was their best offensive forward. He's gone now. He hasn't really played. Some say even from the start of the season. No, that's not true.
Whoa.
He was there playing. At the end of the day, for me, Seth Jones, he's in a group of guys like Miro Heiskanen. One of these guys is going to emerge as the next big year in and year out contender for the Norris Trophy. Seth is already there. He's going to win when it's just a matter of time. Columbus Blue Jackets contract is up next year. Please get him signed now.
Better get him going, too.
So he played 65 minutes in a playoff game. He played over an hour.
Is that good?
It's incredible. Absolutely
awesome.
amazing.
He's
and you mentioned one of the Dallas Stars. That's our next theme here. Let's honor the Dallas Stars, the reigning Western Conference champs. I got a Pavelski card here, and then I also unwrapped a John Klingberg. How about those Stars, fellas?
Go ahead. You can start this one with Klingberg.
All right, John Klingberg. Does everybody know that John Klingberg already has 7 points? Are you kidding me? In 4 games, he's averaging 1.75 points per game right now. That is disgusting. That's a 96-point pace in a 56-game season. Obviously, that's going to slow down significantly. But for me, he's a guy that sometimes we forget about because that Miro Heiskanen guy is pretty good.
Yes.
Don't sleep on John Klingberg. He is an amazing offensive defenseman. He's rounded out his defensive game. It's the big 3 when I look at their D in Dallas.
Joe Pavelski, anchoring that power play. What can you say about that Dallas power play? Only 14 goals a year ago, but 13 in the playoffs, and he's continued right where he left off in the playoffs.
That's incredible.
And there's nothing, as far as deflecting pucks, that white stick that he uses, I believe it's intentional. So when he sticks it in the air, it sticks out because a lot of players use the black tape, but he has white all the way up, and they kind of shoot for that stick and know where it's at. Maybe the best in the business as far as deflecting pucks, and on the side, he can make some passes, and at 36 years old, this is impressive the way that he's got off to the start of this season. Almost up around 19 minutes. They do have the injuries to Sagan and Tyler Benn, and he's getting more of it, but a guy that's leadership, he was a late draft pick.
205.
205. They must not have planes that could get to Madison, Wisconsin, or buses or anything.
It must have been Division 3 then, Madison.
But,
was Wisconsin Division 3 at one point? This guy didn't get picked.
But he came out, and he has never looked back. So love Joe Pavelski, love the start for the Dallas Stars, and he's been leading it.
And he just passed the 800-point plateau. To the point these guys made, you can find great players deep in the draft. You can also find future captains. Here are 2 first-year captains with their teams. Ryan O'Reilly, Mr. Conn Smythe himself from a couple years ago, and Dylan Larkin, the boy wonder. I remember having Dylan Larkin on this show a few years ago, and I was like, wow, he's mature for his age. He remains mature for his age.
Yeah, he really is a mature guy, and don't be fooled by the looks. Some of these guys look so young. Dylan obviously falls into that category, but man, can he fly. I thought he was the perfect choice for Detroit, the logical choice for them. That's a big responsibility to be captain of the Detroit Red Wings. It just feels like they've had some really big names throughout the history.
Oh, yeah.
That is lofty weight to carry around, but if anybody can live up to it, I believe it's Dylan Larkin. He looks good in that C right there.
He gets it, too. He was one of the people that was on the sidewalk when the float rolled by. 2008, their last cup. He was one of the fans as a young man. He gets the winged wheel. I root for him. What a great young man and what a great captain.
And don't forget, Steve Yzerman was a young captain.
Sure.
There. So if you want any questions, just run up.
Yes.
Steve Yzerman can come down and pass along some of the experiences that he went through. So he has a really tremendous mentor upstairs in the GM role.
Now, what about the other gentleman we mentioned, Ryan O'Reilly?
Ryan O'Reilly with the St. Louis Blues, and this is a guy that was mischaracterized at one point in Buffalo.
I thought he was a bad guy.
He called out his teammates.
What happened to that?
But he just was a player that just didn't like what was happening in Buffalo and competitive and wanted to win. And once he got to St. Louis, you could see what was really that driving force inside him. He didn't care about anything but W's. He doesn't care about being on the score sheet. If they win 1-0, he's happy. And he is a perfect choice in St. Louis. Ooh. And learned on, and he is mean and gritty, showed it in that playoff run. I love what he's been able to bring to the St. Louis Blues, a perfect replacement for Pietrangelo.
Ooh, this guy, he gives me nightmares. I have nightmares about him. 2009 draft, we draft Victor Hedman. We're looking at all the top players. I go watch John Tavares, and he's playing against this Ryan O'Reilly guy. And I'm like, hey, what about him? Oh, he's just a defensive player. You know, he probably won't even make it to the NHL. He did end up getting picked in the second round. He was amazing. That's always bugged me. I love his leadership. He had a wonderful family. His dad, I think, is a psychologist. Everything that you want and expect in a young man was there. And then he showed up at the Combine, and he was an absolute beast. Like, he literally looked like he was 25 years old at the Combine. I was like, well, what about O'Reilly? No, not our guy.
Pick 33 in 09. A former number
Lucky
1
Colorado.
overall pick, Steven Stamkos. I've got his card here. We've unwrapped it. How driven is he to win another cup? And then how about the guy who won the Conn Smythe the year after Ryan O'Reilly, Victor Hedman? What about his level of motivation to go back-to-back? These two guys, plenty to talk about.
Steven Stamkos, he got in that one playoff game, did score on his very first shift, and had to play off. It was tough, but he was in the locker room, and Stamkos wants to be a part of it, and he wants to go on another run and be in the playoffs as he hoists that Stanley Cup. And really tough, I believe, as a player of his quality, to watch his teammates go on a run like that and win. But he was still a part of it in the dressing room, but he wants to get out there and be on the ice for a long Stanley Cup run. And as they have Kucherov hurt at the start of this season and coming in, now the replacement is Stamkos. So to lead, and a guy that's put in plenty of training in the offseason to come back from injuries, he really works hard to get back, get in better shape, and that shot.
He's done it several times.
Several times. So he just continues that wavelength. And Tampa Bay, they know how to do it without some of their star players in the lineup, and now he's back and missing some, but still, I would not put it by him without some of their talent, that Stamkos could still lead this team to a Stanley Cup.
What an embarrassment of riches for the Tampa Bay Lightning to have two kids like these two kids. It's really two captains. But Steven Stamkos, just on him alone, he is a wonderful captain. I've never seen a younger player come into the league his first year at 18 years old and be so universally liked by everyone on the team. It really stood out. Steven scored 23 goals his first year. He really didn't start playing much till the halfway point. That was more on management and coaching, by the way, not Steven. He deserved to play right out of the gate. He eventually did. He's made his mark. He's going to the Hall of Fame, and so is Victor Hedman one day.
No argument here. Management told us to wait to unwrap our cards till we were on. I started to unwrap mine early. I lack poise. I lack patience. Who did I get? You guys are allowed to unwrap yours. Oh, did I?
Let's go to the last.
I got an Alexis Lafreniere. This is a masterpiece, fellas.
That is one to hold on to.
Wow, keep that one, Tone. Could that?
This is so big.
How much should Gretz card go for?
A lot.
$1 million plus?
This is going to be, like, I don't want anyone breathing on it. Look at the way it shimmers, like him with the game-winning goal. Oh, Alexis, you're bound for stardom.
What else you got, Tone? Tell us what else you got over there.
I have another pack I'm supposed to open.
Because we got some really good ones here to cover.
Do you have Neil Broughton over there, anybody?
No?
No. Go ahead.
No, we don't have a Brats. But I've got a Tomas Hertl right here. I'm going to kind of build. Tomas Hertl off to a great start for the Sharks. I've got Kyle Connor. Are you kidding me? This guy's one of the most underrated players in the game. And then, to top it all off, how about the grade 8? The Great 8.
I've got a guy who's greater
awesome.
than that.
Thank you very much.
Gills.
I love it.
Come get you some Zach Parise. 24.4 seconds left. America down by a goal. He scored. 2010 Olympics against Canada in Canada. Apparently they went to overtime. I have no idea what happened.
Hold on a second, Tony. Can we get a new host? We might lose Tony. For
the pulse is racing. I'm going about 280 right now. Who do you have, Billy Lindsay?
Guy Lafleur.
Oh, yes.
Now, if like this, it's
don't say it.
It's lots hair down the ice, just going all the way. But Guy Lafleur, the legend.
Show that card. Okay.
There it is.
I'm so old, I played on 2 teams with Guy.
Did you really? Yes.
The New York Rangers in the
Wow, Guy Lafleur with that hair flowing down the ice in the shot, one of the greatest, and we wish him health.
One of the nicest gentlemen I ever met.
Yes, we wish him the best of health at this time, as there's some health struggles for him. So get better, Guy. We love you. John Tavares.
Hey-oh.
Oh, hey-oh. That guy's pretty good. But this is the Maple Leaf one. And I think I'm going to hang on to that one.
Yeah.
Actually.
Oh, yeah.
2008 first overall. I mean, 2009 first overall. Yeah.
That's so the big days. And
the Lafreniere is going to put my kids
good shooting motion. And Peyton Krebs.
Peyton Krebs, there you go.
There you go, the youngster, nice. Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah.
Okay. 17th overall pick.
That's a great card.
This is one that you just put away.
Oh, yeah.
And you hope that it ages like a fine wine.
It's like a growth stock.
I'll buy that one off you right now.
You'll buy it? No.
I'm bullish on
I'm going to get it. So I'm just going to keep that and hopefully makes the Vegas Golden Knights. It gets better and better and better.
You're going to jack me for X. Oh, that's unbelievable.
This value
right here on the show.
For Peyton Krebs, maybe this has high value eventually, a high draft pick, and tough to crack that Vegas lineup.
Who doesn't love cards, though? Seriously.
Yeah.
No,
part of being a fan. Yeah. That's why we unwrap.
I have one complaint.
We're going to take a break.
They've come a long way.
Where's the bubble gum? Where's the bubble gum?
Oh, no. The gum that screws up the cards. We don't want bubble gum.
I still love these cards.
So do we. All of us. You know, the Oil aren't loving their starts, and their fans are legitimately concerned. They have 2 of the best players in the league. McDavid, Draisaitl. What's happening?
I don't really like the gum. I just like the smell.
Unwrap is presented by Upper Deck. UpperDeckEpack.com lets you buy, open, and collect your favorite hockey cards from anywhere at any time. Get a free pack every day just for logging on. Visit UpperDeckEpack.com today.